Hi, my name is Amy Coons, Research Analyst with McLean & Company. For the research project titled Lead Staff Through Change, my project partner and I came up with 4 personas that resemble your staff members as you lead them through change. While the characteristics of the personas remain similar, your staff may transcend from one persona to another through the phases of change. With the information in this video and the associated research report, learn how to increase the success of change initiatives in your department by effectively leading your staff through them. The 4 personas are the Enthusiast, the Skeptic, the Fence-Sitter, and the Saboteur. The Enthusiast is your change champion. Have you heard, "I can't wait for this change, it's exactly what we need, when do we get started?" If so, this person embodies the Enthusiast. Leverage these people throughout the process. Encourage them to generate ideas on how best to implement the change. Make them feel valuable to the change process to maintain their positive attitudes, as they will influence other members of the team. If appropriate, ask them if they want to participate in a pilot project or take on some sort of leadership role. If there is the opportunity, have them test new software, workflows, or processes before the rest of the team. Be careful that they don't overstep their bounds or assert themselves as the main source of information about the change. This is your role. If they are moving too fast, you have to slow them down without stifling them. The second persona is the Skeptic. At first glance, these people may seem like they are going to be a challenge to manage. This may be true, but they are a challenge worth taking on. They are a positive force and have a very valuable part to play in any change. They can read between the lines and identify the weak spots of a change initiative. They will challenge your opinions and ask tough questions. Relish this. Learn from their experience and analytical nature. It will make this change initiative more successful. They will focus on the negative or suggest alternative solutions. Help them to stay solution-oriented by having them present to or lead focus groups, as it will actively engage them in the process. Leverage their logic, but don't give in to their demands. The third persona is the Fence-Sitter. A neutral force, these are the staff members who go with the flow, aren't enthusiastic or upset about the change, and don't want to have much to do with brainstorming or discussing the change. They aren't quite sure what the change entails, but don't care enough to find out. If they seem distracted, have a one-on-one with them to determine if they are going with the flow or keeping quiet about a problem. If they don't have any strong opinions one way or the other, leverage them to complete the tasks assigned during the change. Continue to test their progress to make sure they are on track. One-on-ones are important during the change to make sure that their silence is not a mask for more serious concerns. The last persona is the Saboteur. These staff members will give you grief. They are the only persona that represents a negative force among your staff. They will complain about the change and won't participate in team discussions. Their negative comments will drain the energy of the rest of the group and slow down the change process. Keep communicating with them, explaining the change and the rationale for the new processes in as much detail as you can offer. Invite them to one-on-ones to try to get to the root of their concerns. They may have valid points that you haven't considered, or their resistance to change may be ingrained in their personality. Either way, discuss with them the business rationale for the change and how it will benefit them. If they continue to outwardly reject the change, begin to take their criticisms with a grain of salt. It could be that there is nothing you can do to ease their minds through this process. If by the end of the change the Saboteur has still not adopted to new standards, try again to get to the bottom of their issue and explain that their job has changed and that the adoption of the new standards is necessary for them to remain in their jobs. Your goal should not be to scare them, but to highlight the fact that they are being left behind by their peers. If they can't convert the Saboteur into a fence-sitter at least, they may need to be managed out. Thanks for joining me today. For more information, please see McLean & Company's research report on how to lead staff through change.